Good evening, New Sarum. This scene set at the new Fetish Club in New Sarum, the Pleasure Palace, owned and operated by Bianca Cassidy. Tonight, it's grand opening. A night of decadence, a night of intrigue. It's a good night for Bianca. She's happy, things are good, clear, and taken care of. There's a modest line of people outside. Not surprising, as BDSM's just barely starting to come to the surface in modern uh, mainstream society, at least. There is a waiver at the front door, since people can be seeing things that can be considered sexual, kink, S&M, all those fun little buzzwords. People have to sign it unless they've gotten a card saying that they're going to be a regular member, in which case their information and signature of it is kept on hand, and it can be changed any time should they say they want to by talking to people at the door. Miranda, Bianca's ghoul, has been running around making sure everything was in place before Bianca's arrival. Bianca arrived about 7:45. She couldn't take the waiting for it any longer. She looks around just before they open the doors. Yes, I think everything's in place. And you have all stuff ready for the show at 9? Yes, Miss Bianca. Wonderful. And Bianca will go and take her seat, a rather fun little throne she's had for many years now. It's between two of the stages, set back, has the door to the VIP only area behind it. And the doors open and people begin coming in, dressed in anything from suits to fetish wear. Bianca gets up and wanders about, occasionally checking the back door to see if anybody's out there for the special club in the back, the kindred only area. And that's where this scene opens as people begin making their way in.
Isabel gets there a little early, stands in line with the small crowd of people waiting to get in. She is dressed in sort of half fetish wear, half formal wear. She's in a long black skirt with high-heeled boots and a sequined corset top that is almost more medieval style than it is fetish, but it's pretty and she wanted to wear it, so she's wearing it. And she knows that she will see Bianca here tonight, obviously, as it is her club, but it's definitely something that she's interested in seeing, so she could not pass up the opportunity to come.
As you come in, you see a large room. There's a large, very comfortable, plush-looking seating area around it. There seem to be 3 stages, 2 bars, and you can smell in the air the smell of food being cooked. Maybe that's to make sure that people get plenty of nutrition after scenes if they do decide to play. You notice that one of the stages is much larger, possibly to be used as a dance area on occasions. Who knows?
Adam's going to make his way into the club from the back. He'll be using his obfuscate to remain invisible. As he approaches the back, you can obviously hear the noise as people start to wander into the club. He's going to just limber up and probably knock on the door. Adam's dressed fairly regularly, actually. He's wearing jeans, he's wearing like a vest top, or what counts, well, any top on Adam basically counts as a vest top, and he's appearing to be wearing sort of like a latex sort of rubber mask to obscure his face somewhat, but obviously anyone who knows him would be able to recognize him.
And Bianca, hearing the knock from the door as she's been making her rounds, comes back and opens it. Mr. Fitzpatrick, what a pleasure. Glad to see you could make it tonight.
Well, how could I resist an invitation from such gorgeous company? Adam chuckles. I hope you don't mind the mask. I didn't want to scare any of your other guests too much.
Not at all.
It's quite a place you've got here.
Yes, you should see it. Please come in. She opens a door not far down the hallway for you.
He'll just follow in after her, looking around the place, just kind of thinking to himself, well, as I said, mighty fine establishment you've got here. Must have taken a lot of work.
Oh, it did, my dear. And the room you're in is very plush. It has very comfortable seating. You notice that there's a very large TV on one wall, and it shows pictures of the 3 different stages in the seating area. So you can see all manner of people going around, different people. You can see one person already starting to tie somebody up on one of the stages.
Adam's going to just look at the TV screen and just with interest. It's not quite exactly his thing, but it's particularly bother him somewhat. Well, how have you been these past few days? You know, I've barely got a chance to.
And yourself?
Not bad. Same old, you know. Living out in the tunnels, trying to get some things done.
Oh, good for you.
Well, a man tries these nights. Adam's gonna sit down on one of your plush couches. Well, he's gonna like test it, takes his weight, and then he's just gonna sit down and just kind of relax. Well, I've been looking at getting a place of my own. I mean, much as Henry's great company and such, I feel like I should try and contribute something to the city.
Well, if you're needing of work, I'm happy to help you out there.
What kind of work would we be talking? Well,
You're a big, strong gentleman. I was thinking maybe keeping an eye on the back door here, so that if any of your family arrives, they can be let in safely.
well, sounds like fairly easy work to me. Adam just kind of shrugs his shoulders.
You may
Sounds
have to wear
easy.
that mask during your shifts, but I'm sure nobody will notice. Plus, it'll give you a chance if the case has trouble of some sort, which I don't really imagine happening. Allow you to be able to come out and help with it, if you want.
Well, I'll think about the offer, but it sounds mighty fine to me. I was also thinking of going into business with another gentleman, but I don't know.
Oh, and who's that?
Are you familiar with a man named Josephus? Really creepy fella.
When you say the name, you see her kind of shudder. Yes, detestable individual, to say the least.
Yeah, saw him the other night. What I saw, well, it wasn't pretty.
I'm not
Long story
surprised.
short, gentleman owes me a favour. Nothing Nothing too bad, I assure you. If anything, I probably helped to pass that out. But again, I don't know. Just kind of looks at her, just kind of for a second. So, what are these? I assume you've had the pleasure, or rather, well, displeasure of meeting him.
Oh, yes. Quite so.
Well,
He likes
I don't know.
preaches twisted religion.
Yeah, I caught him doing that the other night. I was wondering if perhaps, I was thinking of perhaps trying to poach some of his sinners, as it were, do the city a favour, but that's business. Come, let's talk about pleasure.
That is the name of the game here. The
Yeah.
Pleasure Palace. And she extends her arms kind of like she's kind of showing off the place.
Well, I assume you'll be kind enough to give me the grand tour.
Certainly. And any skin that's showing looks human, generally human? Or does he have most of his skin covered?
Yeah, Adam has like most of his skin covered. He'd be wearing sort of half kind of fetish gear, half not. His face would be entirely covered apart from his eyes. And
Okay.
he'd be wearing like, he wouldn't be wearing a PVC bodysuit or anything like that, but he'd be wearing, clothes that hid a lot of his skin. But Adam does look fairly humanoid in effect. He's just bulked out. So.
Well, if you'd like, I could show you around.
It'd be a pleasure, Miss Cassidy.
And she will head out and turn down the other direction from where you came in and open the door. And on the door it says VIP only.
Mm-hmm.
And a short ways in front of the door you see the back of a throne.
He's just chuckle as he sees the phone. Well, I assume that's for you.
Of course, my dear. Or if somebody higher position than myself decides to come in and wishes to sit in it, of course, I would be most happy to allow that.
Well, good thinking. What does a VIP room look like?
It looked much like. Nope, not that one. Waiting for it to load. Because I know it's on this. It shows up on this picture. No, I said switch.
It's okay. It looks like the picture you had on before, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Adam's just gonna admire the plush fabrics, and generally the opulence of the place. I mean, Adam's been into a few bars. He's been to bars quite a lot before, and perhaps a couple of strip clubs, but never anything quite this opulent.
Much like this picture.
Well, I suggest we both take a seat and get this party started, huh? What are you so stressed out about anyways? I mean, you're a beautiful lady, you've got a brand new club.
Oh, there's a few things I'm stressed about. One of them was getting the club open on time.
Well,
Let's see, other things would be... yeah, that's pretty much my main concern at the moment. And she's going to take a look out across the crowd, seeing who she sees, if anybody. Is there anybody she might recognize?
Oh, yeah. There's Isabel. She's made her way into the club and is kind of walking around, taking everything in, looking at the different things that might be out. Yeah, so she'll see Isabel.
And Isabel can roll perception alertness if she wants to see Bianca and this hulking brute of a man. out from by the throne, if she wants.
Yeah, sure.
I had to see how many dice I had.
Not enough. It's never enough.
5 successes.
You see Bianca and that large, massive body that probably ran into you once or twice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you would know Adam from a mile away. No matter how dressed he is. She smiles to herself and begins to make her way over to them. And she gets over there. Good evening, Bianca. Adam.
Good evening, Miss Murphy. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Came to check out the opening of your club. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Well, she seems to have done a great job with the place.
That she has. It's quite magnificent in here.
Yeah, well, it's refreshing to have somewhere I can go and without fear of, well, being recognized.
Right?
Mm.
Right? Oh, yeah, I understand that.
I mean, the park's nice enough, but it gets a little chilly these nights.
Bianca smirks at that. So does Isabel.
So does Isabel.
Adam's just gonna give a chuckle. Well, I propose this. How about we all get a drink and see how the night unfolds? I've been cooped up on the ground for too long.
Can you even drink through that mask?
Well, I can probably try if he laughs.
Well, I've seen many men try.
Well.
Far less actually succeed.
Well, I'm not just any man, Miss Cassidy. He's just gonna give like a deep throat chuckle.
I mean, can you even drink at all? And if you're going to have a drink here, you're only going to get probably water, soda anyway.
Shame. Could have done with a good stiff drink.
Alcohol and the activities that go on in these places don't really mix too well. It goes against the whole sane part of safe, sane, and consensual.
Well, that's understandable. It's one of the first times I've been in one of these places myself, but it suits you both well. I can see why you chose this place. Or did it choose you?
Isabel looks to Bianca to see how she took Isabel almost taking over the explanation.
You see Bianca's taking a seat in her throne and is just sitting there watching while you do all the talking.
So she seems content and pleased then. Okay. She just kind of smiles softly and turns her attention back to Adam. Well, if this is your first time in a place like this, then you're in for quite experience.
Well, I don't doubt that for a second. You two always know how to liven up the party.
Liven up the party. Interesting choice of words.
Well, I try and be an interesting man. And as I said, I've been underground so long. Forgive me if I've forgotten basic civilities.
You've been quite civil, my dear. Quite civil.
I do try and be a gentleman.
I find you rather endearing, Mr. Fitzpatrick. Uh, it's a shame that you got the luck of the draw that you did.
He's quite enduring. That is very true. Except when he's flipping tables in front of you. Not quite so endearing.
Oh, of
Well,
course. But we all have our faults. We're not all perfect now, are we?
well, at
Oh, I
least
don't know
everyone
about
knows
that.
I can flip a good table if it needs doing.
Fortunately, we don't have many tables here for you to have to worry about that.
Well, if I take up this job offer, let's hope I don't have to. Let's hope it comes to no trouble. But being the way I am comes with a few perks, as you can imagine.
Oh, I can imagine, my dear. I can imagine.
Can't complain too much. So,
I'm looking forward to my opening act tonight. It'll be quite spectacular.
do tell.
Oh, it's a bit of a surprise, my dear.
Hmm.
It's too bad that my preferred target is not available. Gonna have to use my dear little Miranda instead.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I'm sure she'll do quite nicely.
Oh, she does quite well in a pinch. Very loyal, sweet thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, I'm sure you'll enjoy it, my dear. I'm
Um,
sure you'll enjoy it.
Adam's gonna give a quick kind of cheeky wink. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it too, and if the night goes as well as it has so far, maybe I can show you a few of my moves as well, or what I've learned.
Now that's quite an offer. Don't think I've gotten one like that. We'll have to see. Would you prefer to go back into the private room again where you can speak a little more freely, or do you want to sit out here watching the sea of people slowly ebbing and flowing?
As I said earlier, I'm here on pleasure, not business, but it's up to you, dear. I mean, I'll enjoy myself either way.
Well, that's good to know. You can enjoy yourself quite easily. The truth of the matter is, how can others enjoy you, though, really?
We'll have to see, won't we?
I guess we will.
So, what have you ladies been up to the last few nights?
Oh, well, I've already told you what I've been up to. What about our dear Miss Murphy? Actually, you two talk. I have to go get ready for the opening act.
All right. Well, haven't been up to much except working. I've been working a lot. Yes. Haven't really gotten out to socialize too much. Made it a point to come out here tonight.
Well, seems like we're in the same situation then. Where have you been working? Perhaps I could pay
Uh,
you.
well, I'm a gymnastics coach.
Mm.
So I work out of a gym in the Crow. And I'm also, and I don't tell many people about this, but I'll tell you, I'm what they call a pro submissive. I get paid to let people beat me.
Well, seems like something else we have in common. It's just I punch back.
Hmm. Well, Maybe you and I might have to arrange something at some point.
Oh, maybe I'm around. I've been spending my time around the Crow as well these nights. I've been looking for a place. I've been looking for a place of my own for some time. Of course, with he's just going to indicate his face. With this, it's a little difficult to find somewhere.
Oh, of course it is. Well, I have access to my gym until about 4 o'clock every morning, and I usually have my last client around 10. So I'm usually done by 11 or 12. So if you ever want to stop by and talk or whatever, it's a safe place for you to come.
That'd be much appreciated. Maybe we could both get some training in.
Maybe. It's set up a little differently than a regular gym, but there is some exercise equipment and things that you can punch.
Well, we don't just punch. Of course, there's a lot of that. We try and keep our agility up, our stamina. Jump rope, hoops, anything you can do to keep yourself in top shape. And plus, I wouldn't complain about learning some new skills.
No, of course. Yeah. I mean, I still run every night, even though I don't actually have to. Just kind of out of habit, from so many years of doing it. Oh, hey, I believe the show's starting, so why don't we turn around and watch this? And she goes to find a seat.
Adam's going to walk next to Isabel using, I assume there's quite a crowd. People are starting to go and watch the show, so he'll just act as a natural kind of bouncer, just kind of letting people walk around him, or just gently moving them aside as he goes and finds a seat as well.
You guys take your seats, and you see Bianca up on the larger stage. She's got a very scantily clad blonde woman, currently affixed up to a large cross, much like an X. It's a St. Andrew's cross. And she's got two long bullwhips, one in each hand. You can see her just cracking them over her head, one after the other. She then begins, in this very beautiful, fluid motion, begins cracking both of them against the woman's back. You can hear him cracking, and you can see the red marks lay across her back as she goes stroke after stroke. It's like she's been doing this for forever, like maybe decades almost. Oh, maybe it has been decades, but she looks young, so it's not something you'd imagine. But she definitely has skill and practice at this. This is her thing, and she then begins picking up the pace, going faster. You can see the welts popping on the woman's back more and more. Eventually, she stops and takes both of the whips in her hands. She walks around, so she's facing the audience. She looks around for a particular face. Can she see them in the crowd? Yes, she does. She finds that face. You see her caress the blonde woman's hair as she's looking into Isabel's eyes. Yes, Isabel would definitely know that she's looking at her.
And Isabel is very focused and on this performance, becoming quite enthralled by it. But she does notice that Bianca locks eyes with her.
And when she does that, most of the rest of the audience doesn't know what's said, but Isabel knows that three-letter word. She always gives it to her girls when they've been good, when they've done well, when they've pleased her, when they've made her happy.
Isabel, almost involuntarily, it's very much a mental thing that she's been conditioned to, will kind of squirm and moan a little bit in her seat.
You can see the woman on stage with Bianca squirming her legs and hips very much as well as this happens. She then kisses the side of the woman's cheek uh, before unfastening her from the cross, helping her down and taking her back into the VIP area.
Isabel sits there for a few moments before getting up, still just kind of staring. Even after they've left the stage, she's still kind of staring in that general area. As if whatever has her captivated is still going on.
As the performance goes on, Adam watches. He's not as enthralled as Isabel quite clearly is. However, he admires the perfection of each strike, how each blow is calculated to land at a certain part of the body to cause pain, but not too much harm. It reminds him of when he was training, the hits he'd taken training that just drive him on to do better. And he can kind of adrenaline somewhat. He looks at Isabel after a couple of moments, leaving her to be enthralled. Well, that was quite a show. I certainly wasn't disappointed.
She doesn't quite register what he said at first. She can hear his voice, but she's still not quite. So she doesn't really acknowledge you right away when you say that.
Adam's gently going to. He's just gently going to indicate towards the VIP area, and he's just gonna give a look. You okay? We should probably get back there and congratulate them.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we should. That was quite a performance, wasn't it? Oh, yes. Let's go see them. As she then picks herself up from the seat and goes with Adam to the VIP area.
Adam will offer Isabel his arm. He won't actively grab her arm or anything, but he'll offer her his arm, his covered arm, in quite a gentlemanlike manner, and he'll just walk towards the VIP area, gently clearing people who wander into his path. Well, I didn't quite expect to see that, but I can understand why you like it. I mean, being able to experience that in such a safe place. Usually in life, when you get knocked or beaten down, you don't have a choice in the matter. It's quite refreshing.
Well, I am very glad that you enjoyed it. It's definitely not for everyone, but I'm glad that you seem to enjoy it.
I try and keep an open mind, Miss Murphy.
Well, that's a very good thing to have, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Being the way I am, I suppose I didn't have any choice in the matter. He chuckles. I might ask Miss Bianchi if I may have a go myself, if she'd be so kind. If I'm to work here, then I might as well become well acquainted.
Of course. And So are Bianca and Miranda in the VIP area or backstage?
In the VIP area.
Okay. They with that, Isabel will open the door to the VIP area and step in.
You see that very plush, beautiful room. Bianca is sitting on the couch with Miranda, her ghoul, the blonde woman, kind of laid in her lap, and she's just stroking her hair.
Isabel smiles at the sight of those two, and she instinctively, almost without even thinking, she goes and sits on the floor in front of Bianca and Miranda, taking Miranda's hand after she sits down.
So, what did you think of the performance? Did I do all right?
Oh, it was wonderful. And she looks at Miranda, who is obviously extremely,
Blissed out.
yes. You're very lucky to be the one up there.
And I'm just going to follow in after he gives them sort of a moment to settle in. I have to say, I was quite impressed myself.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I do try to do my best. It is my calling, after all.
It must have taken you a long time to learn how to crack a whip like that to cause pain but not too much harm. And well, it's a pleasure to meet such another beautiful woman. He kind of just gives a short little bow to Miranda.
I'm not entirely sure she's going to realize that you're even here at the moment. She's kind of on cloud nine. Endorphins and all.
Probably not, no, but
And looking at her, you'd think that she was just fed on or something.
Okay. And I'm just gonna look at the end. So it seems like you've already started the party. Do you mind if I was going to ask? He just kind of just gives a look. I'm thinking of joining in on the action myself, if that would be okay.
In what sort of way, my dear?
Well, I was thinking I could learn a little bit of what you just did. If I'm going to work here even part-time, I should get well acquainted with the place, and I'm quite thirsty as well. Is any refreshment?
Unfortunately, we can't feed here.
Ah. May I ask why?
Domain.
Ah.
Unfortunately.
Not your domain, then.
No, it is not my domain. It is someone else's. And they've informed me that there's not to be any feeding up here. Well, you can get food to go, but no dining in, so to speak.
No worries, I'll probably try and get something on the way out, but I would still like to learn a little bit more and enjoy the rest of the night. It's refreshing.
Well, you're by all means welcome to enjoy it. That is, after all, what the night's about. Just don't break the masquerade, that's my only request.
You've got no worries there, that's why I'm in all this get-up.
Good boy.
Just kind of shrugs. I'm used to covering my tracks anyhow. But the masquerade does seem like a fragile little thing for these past nights. Not that I've come across much trouble, luckily, but no. It's difficult to get used to.
I can remember how difficult it was for me. I can only imagine how much harder it must be for you, my dear.
It's hard, but I was made
You're a
this way.
strong man for surviving this long with it.
Well, being like this, I better hope I'd be strong. Fate seems to have a sense of humour, huh?
A sense of humor. And she kind of glances down at Isabel when you say that. Yes, it's a mischievous sort of thing, isn't it?
Still, I guess we should be thankful. We get to do things that we may have not explored in our mortal lives. Even looking like this.
Or we get to further explore things that we've been acquainted with for quite some time and test new limits.
Indeed.
I'm looking forward to the day when she's embraced and I can try out all those new things with her. And she's stroking Miranda's hair when she says that.
Isabel just kind of looks at the both of them. For a moment, she's just enjoying being there, as if to her it almost feels like that things were the way that they used to be, and she's savoring the moment.
Adam just smiles. Well, I guess you'd fit right in with the little get-up you've got here. I'm thinking of taking on a few proteges myself if I have the time. Might be good to interact more with our kind and with theirs.
Yes, interactions is what it's all about. I know that some of your family can make it not even look like yourself. A handy little trick from what I've seen. Maybe something to work towards. Not that that's me telling you what to do, it's just a slight recommendation.
There's no offense. There's no offense taken.
I would talk to Beatrix if you want to be especially good at it. She seems to be quite gifted in it.
Yeah, I suppose I should thank her after what happened via Elysium as well. She definitely saved my hide.
Now, if only poor little Bots, what's his name, Dewlap, whatever, that venture hadn't come squawking and going crazy. Trouble might not have escalated further. But no, he likes to run his mouth and yet cause trouble for people.
Well, that's something everyone does sometimes, I suppose. We can't help but look for trouble to push ourselves towards new limits. Sometimes that means we end up in other people's limits. But it doesn't matter, what's done is done. I mean, I'd rather not have frenzied at my first Elysium, but you can't go around saying things like that at an Elysium, even if they are true. So it's a valuable lesson, I suppose.
Yes, my dear little Val likes to say the truth. trying to help her work on how she says it, because sometimes how you say something can mean more than what you say, if you know what I mean.
Definitely.
Like I could say, bless your little heart. And it sounds like I'm saying something quite nice and sweet, doesn't it?
Well, I don't think that'd work for me.
I don't know, you can try it. Say it.
It just oh, bless you, my little sweetheart.
That's not quite what I said,
No.
but it's close.
Try to put my own ring on it.
Maybe it's a southern thing. What do you think, Isabel? Bless your little heart's about as close to profanity as I get, yes?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't think I've ever really heard you say anything that's not proper. And when I slip up and say those words, you're not very happy about it.
Well, on the upside, things have changed, so you can say whatever you want now, I suppose.
I suppose I could, but I don't really want to, honestly. I've learned a lot of ways to say what I mean without resorting to that sort of talk.
You see Bianca get a grin on her face when Isabel's saying this. It's a very proud of herself kind of smile.
Isabel smiles. She tries not to smile too big, knowing that Bianca is proud of her for saying that and for believing that. But yeah, she's definitely smiling when Bianca does.
And that's a skill that'll serve all of us well. Sometimes you don't even sometimes you don't even need to back anything up with action. Just the right word will do. Or the right gesture. I mean, it's like that in boxing as well. The first person to get into the other man's head wins. People think it's all about the physical side, but the mental side is equally as important.
Bianca glances down at your hands. I'm sure it probably won't take you much to get inside of a man's head.
Believe it or not, these hands weren't always so big, but yeah. I know a few tricks. I've been around the block a bit. I'm sure you'll have a few up your sleeve as well.
Sweet, simple old me. I don't think I've ever. What have I never?
Oh.
I've never shot somebody. That's something to be proud of, right? I don't think I've stabbed anybody either. What about you, Isabel? Have you ever stabbed somebody? And you can see this grin on her face.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done anything quite so atrocious as that in my entire life. And she's on the verge. She can't even keep a straight face when she's saying this.
Adam also is gonna chuckle. Well, it's a pretty one to go watch out for. With me, well, at least you know what I am.
You should see the size of my sword.
It's quite impressive for somebody of her petite stature. So long and hard.
I'm just gonna chuckle.
Isabel's laughing like, and she's blushing because she can do that. So her face is very red right now, with those innuendos having just been made.
Just gives kind of a friendly nod. Well, let me just say that it's not only my hands and the rest of me that's a decent size, so you have nothing to be embarrassed about, Miss Murphy.
Decent size. I wonder if I have a cage big enough for it then. Guess I can always make a new one.
Build a new cage?
Well, yes, if his members are decent size, it may not be one big enough for him.
Well, you gotta find one strong enough to hold him too.
Oh, those don't usually have near the amount of strength his arms or legs will.
Yeah, I suppose. It'll be interesting, I think.
I did have that one gentleman, had like a 14-inch penis that wanted the CBT. Oh, the worst part was he thought I was going to blow him afterwards. I'm like, no, I don't give you a happy ending. I'll give me a happy ending. I then had dinner and he had his happy ending.
Right, well, I'm sure that he probably thought that he was getting what he wanted anyway.
Probably, but do you know how hard it was fitting that monster into a device?
I bet. I'm glad that I'm. Well, I don't know. I've had my share of men trying to uh, get what they want out of me afterwards, and I've definitely surprised them with the strength of my tiny little body when they try to do that to me.
Sounds like a valuable lesson for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Of course, then I do the same thing that Miss Cassidy does. Feed off of them and they still think they're getting their happy ending, but not after they get some retaliation. But not before they get some retaliation from me.
It's nice to know a girl can handle herself.
Have
It
to be able
is.
to in the type of environments that we've experienced. You have to be able to handle yourself.
Mm.
She is quite capable. The right amount of rope in the right place, tied just right to keep her squirming and still all at the same time.
Isabel blushes.
Well, I don't doubt that for a second. Still, I won't pry, fun as it may be.
I have no secrets. I'm an open book. My religion says it's not good to lie. Builds distrust.
As long as you keep your guard up, there's nothing wrong with being honest, is there?
Oh, in theory, you shouldn't have to have your guard up with the truth. I
Exactly.
think that's a bit why Val goes a little straight at the mouth.
Mm. Mm. Well,
Like I said, sometimes it's how you say it.
at the end of the day, both of us learnt a valuable lesson.
I hope so.
I'm surprised. She's a fair bit older than I am, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she's been around a fair bit. Just remember, she is Bruja. She riles up easily.
Don't worry, I don't underestimate the Bruja. I've heard a few tales of how fierce you are, and I've seen it myself. Velvet glove, iron fist.
Oh, I don't know. I'd say that I'm a velvet glove iron fist. Definitely velvet glove woman. Definitely not an iron fist. Am I an iron fist, my dear Isabel?
Only sometimes. Usually when I ask for it.
Well, see, there you go. It's only when it's been requested of me. It's not who I am. She gives a sly smirk.
Um, so how often and late is this club open?
It will be open every night, at least to Kindred. I'm thinking of having it closed, and she makes little air quotes. Uh, Monday and Tuesday evenings for private rental or hanging out, so to speak, if people want.
Oh, so I could possibly bring clients here then.
Oh yes, my dear. Even if the club's going, there's two private rooms that you could rent out.
All right. I'll have to speak with you about rental prices and things then.
And if you have need of any security for the back door, I'd be happy to help when I'm free. My training schedule is quite rigorous, as you can imagine, but I have a few nights spare.
A few nights of extra security would be wonderful. It'll probably be most especially for those Mondays and Tuesdays when we're closed, just to make sure that we are safe.
That's fair. If we're going to do business, well, I hate to bring this up, but what would be the payment, or would it just be a favor for a favor?
Oh no, I would gladly pay you. That's what having a business is about, especially since you want to get out on your own. Having the physical cash will help with that. If you need, I can have my dear girl here uh, get you an apartment somewhere, take care of the paperwork for you.
I wasn't thinking of an apartment. Apartment's a little too. What's the word? The apartment's a bit too high profile for me. I like to keep myself grounded, but a cellar or a basement somewhere, well off grid. I wouldn't say no.
A cellar, a basement. I will keep that in mind. See what if I hear about anything, I'll let you know.
That'd be much appreciated.
I know there's a house going up for rent in Parkview soon, probably in the next couple months.
Isabel gives a little bit of a sharp look to Bianca and
Parkview.
It's in the Little Finger, my dear. Very nice house.
Oh,
Even has a jacuzzi. I'm going to
I'll
be
probably have
moving
to.
closer to work, so I get all the hours in I want and still have plenty of night left.
Sounds a little fancy for my tastes, but I'm sure we can come up with some sort of deal. If not, then cash would be just fine. And as I said, it must be a favour for a friend. That'd just be a formality.
We'll see what we can work out then. Come on, Miranda. Time for you to sit up. Miranda sits up and kind of rolls over and nuzzles into Bianca's neck as she strokes her hair. We'll take care of the club now. We've had your rest. She gives a little nod and gets up and leaves the room.
does she acknowledge Isabel in any way?
She smiles at you.
Isabel will smile back.
And don't worry, you can speak in front of her. She's protected by the blood.
I suppose I'd better be making my way out soon. So if you're going to be taking Miss Miranda here home, I may take something to go and do the same.
Oh no, Miss Miranda's gonna go out and finish taking care of the club, make sure everything's going smoothly. She's the manager of it.
That's fair enough. As lovely as the company has been, I should probably be getting back to my haven soon. As you know, it's away.
Of course. I hope you had a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Before Adam leaves, Isabel hands him one of her business cards that has her phone number and the address of the gym on it.
Adam takes that with a smile. Much obliged. If I ever want a training partner, I'll be happy to call you, and you'll know it's me. I'll try my best. I'll try my best not to run into you this time.
Well, I was just a little bit startled by it, but it really wasn't that bad. She kind of gives him a little bit of a wink at that. But I look forward to hopefully seeing you soon.
Yes, I did too. It was lovely keeping you both company. I hope to do it sometime soon. As I said, I'll grab something and make my way out. And Adam's just going to leave the VIP room. And then what Adam's probably going to do is as he walks out the VIP room, he's still got his mask on. He's going to try and he's going to try and basically analyze the room and look for a submissive. Either gender would be fine. I'll just do a personal alertness for that.
Perception alertness, yep.
Yep. Right, okay.
Yes, you see submissives.
Right, cool. Adam's gonna probably try and pick one out, probably somewhat muscle bound guy or something. He's just gonna walk up to him. He's gonna be like, wow. He's gonna be like, you're looking for someone, boy. If you want to get the price started, follow me. And he's going to try and use his physical size to try and sort of impose on the guy, very much in the manner of a dominant, though not as practiced as Bianca would have been. In fact, I'll do a charisma intimidation or manip intimidation.
Yeah, okay. Charisma intimidation, probably.
Yeah, because you want to be authoritative but not scary. So charisma intimidation would be better.
Cool. I'd also probably get a reduced just because of huge size. That's something. Oof.
One success.
Yeah.
He's a little reluctant because you haven't talked to him much, but he concedes to go with you.
Adam's going to take the guy out one of the side doors. He's like, oh, what's your name, boy? Oh, damn, I don't have to beat it out of you. And he starts chatting to this guy as they leave. And then the guy whose name turns out to be something like, I know, Michael. Adam's gonna take him to a secluded place, and then once he's got the guy in a safe, secure location, he's going to feed on him. And do I have to roll for that as well?
Are you gonna try and get his consent first, or are you just gonna take it?
Oh no, I'm gonna obviously. I'm just gonna try and get this guy.
Charisma subterfuge.
Okay. What he'll do is he'll take him to like a sort of secluded location, like, hands up. Don't worry, I won't hurt you too much. And if you don't want to, just say, Say, Rocky. So I think that's one success.
Yep.
So yeah, Adam's going to bite him. Well, Adam's gonna turn the guy around, and then Adam's gonna just, as the guy's turned away and kind of pressed against this, it's gonna be like a brick wall. Adam's gonna slowly undo the bottom of his mask. It's a secluded kind of location. It's probably down towards his head and towards the tunnels. He's gonna lift up his mask slightly and just bite the guy as he's doing stuff. And I'll do a bite roll just to finish that.
You don't need to roll to
I
bite.
don't know.
Not if you have control over the situation. He's not resisting.
I'm used to I'm used to having to do a bite roll. But yeah, as Adam kind of is gonna take 2 blood points from this guy and like, oh, everything's okay. You're doing very well. Let's see how long you can keep going. And then the scene for Adam will fade to black as he thinks of the interesting experiences he's had tonight. And that's done for him.
Isabel, after Adam leaves, she looks at Bianca and she smiles at her. Well, you've really outdone yourself. This is quite a club you have.
Thank you, my dear. Hoping to be able to turn some of the profits towards helping the homeless and such in the city.
Oh, of course, of course. So what are the rates for a room rental?
Miranda has a specifically. You'll probably get the friends and family discount, so not too much. Maybe $25 to $50, I think, an hour.
All right, that's not too bad. Won't cut too much into what I charge.
There comes with plenty of equipment, crosses, benches, implements.
Mm-hmm. Of course. I just it would be far easier to just have a place to come to like this rather than trying to find somewhere to go, meeting at people's houses or whatever, you know.
Plus, we have security here, so if they try and pull anything, not that you can't handle yourself, but you'll have backup.
Right, of course. Especially if Adam is around. I definitely would feel quite safe, I think.
No, there you go then. I'll make sure Miranda knows what I spoke with you about.
All right. I'll I guess you'll just have her contact me and I'll give her all the details, what nights I need and stuff.
As you wish, my dear.
I'm glad that I came here tonight. I really enjoyed the show and everything. And the, you know,
The what, my dear? And she gets a sly grin. Maybe she knows what the is.
during the show, you made eye contact and
Did I? And she even puts her hand over her mouth like,
yeah, I almost didn't quite notice as I was really captivated by what was going on.
oh, I know. That's why I made her wait. Right on that edge. Waiting for you to notice.
You do know me too well, don't you?
I know my eyes tend to get your attention.
Yes. Yes, they do. Well, I suppose that I should be going. It was good to see you.
It's been a pleasure, my dear. I hope you have a safe and wonderful evening.
You mind if I give you a hug before I go?
Not at all.
She goes to Bianca's arms.
Bianca wraps her in and pulls her close, kisses her forehead.
When Bianca does that, Isabel gets a little bit of a saddened look on her face, and she holds the tears back. But that was something that definitely grabbed her. And she turns around. She gives a kind of a forlorn smile and glance at Bianca as she leaves.
And Bianca watches on the monitors, on the monitor, the large screen, as Isabel makes her way out through the crowd and out of the club, and thinks to herself, it's been a good night. It's been a very good night. And with that, this scene will end.